What's up everybody, Soul here with another MENACE video for your viewing pleasure, and today we're going to be taking a look at all of the squad leaders, talking about what makes them good, what makes them bad, and then putting them on a tier list. I have now gotten out a guide on all squad leaders. Make sure you go check them out on the channel, and yeah, let's talk about how they place on that tier list. Understand a few things. This is just chill, easy going. This is purely my opinion. Just me reflecting on how I feel about the squad leaders in my use and in my gameplay. This is in no way fact, and this is in no way a reflection of what you might appreciate or like in those squad leaders. In fact, I would urge you to jump in the comments and talk about it and tell everybody how you feel so that everybody can get a different opinion on these squad leaders. Some might do better for some than they do for me, and vice versa. With that said, let's start with our girl right here, Miss Jane Darby. First Sergeant of the 103rd, the Black Sleeves. I wish we'd hear that more in the game. It'd be a lot of fun. Regardless, she's got a fantastic action economy, tons of action points, very good accuracy, very good discipline. She's good all around. She's very strong. She's a high tier squad leader. With that comes the cost. She's very expensive, and that does work against her in some ways. If you want to take her and deck her out, load her up, whatever, you're going to pay for it. Let's take a look at her unique perk, and that is high value targets, where Jane Darby's attacks disable enemy special weapons for 1 turn. She has that, and it's pretty daggum useful in my opinion, though I'd rather not leave my enemies alive long enough to hit me anyways, so you take that for what it's worth. This is a decent perk, but I don't think it's like the best by any means, shape, form, or fashion. With that said though, you take a look at her other perks, she's one of the few that has covert ops. Very, very good. She gets access to scavenger. A lot of people absolutely love that, and rightfully so. Standby is a really good perk to utilize. Sharpshooter is unbelievably good. Such a good perk. Absolutely devastating. She has ambush in her kit as well. And then you come on down, she's got commando and impossible shot. And so impossible shot is probably my favorite perk out of the whole lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, this thing's unbelievable. Increase the weapon range. Really, really good stuff. Her perks are pretty phenomenal. Her stats are pretty phenomenal, and her cost is high. With that all said, I'm gonna be real with you. That makes me place her really, really high on the list. In fact, this puts her, in my opinion, as an S tier. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Not in the slightest. Moving right along, let's take a look at Mr. Lim next. Mr. Lim is a phenomenal squad leader within his own right, which honestly they all are in their own right, you know. They all are. But Mr. Lim right here, First Sergeant Charles Lim at the 81st Astral Assault. This guy comes in, he's got a fantastic action economy as well. Not as good as Jane Darby's, but really good in my opinion. Accuracy's pretty great, discipline's pretty great, damage reduction equally great. He's got very decent stats, and he doesn't cost as much, especially when it comes to those promotions, because of his perk, Aspiring. And so he gets a 30% discount to promotions. This makes him inexpensive to rank up and to get more out of, and that's really nice for those early game runs. This dude comes in clutch for that. He definitely comes in, grows hard early on, in a big way, helping you get further faster. Long story boring. This gives him a lot of early game strength. Now, and you take a look at all his perks. He's got running gun, which means he's mobile and he's shooting. He's saving action points for that. He's got mobile infantry, which means he can jump in and out of a vehicle at next to no cost. It's 5 AP. It's so good. He's got point fire, grenadier. He's got all kinds of stuff. Counter strike. Everybody absolutely loves that. Stubborn, no AP loss from being suppressed. This dude is meant to be in the fray at all times, and he's got the absolute coveted berserk at the bottom. Who doesn't love that one? Absolutely phenomenal. And then Blaze of Glory has its own utility and use. It's pretty great, where you can just remove suppression and then he restores some AP. It's not too bad at all. He's got some very good perks, and he does a really good job. Dude comes in like a hoss and guns and hits people hard. The thing that makes him so good, in my opinion, is his early game. His growth potential is pretty decent, and he's going to grow and grow and do better and better for you as the game goes on, but he gives you a good strong foundation in your start. And so for that reason, For that reason, I would absolutely put him as a tier. Why do I put him as an A tier, not an S tier? He doesn't come in clutch later in the game. He's not somebody that I'm just desperate to have. When he's not in the team, I might notice, but I'm not missing him. His role can be replaced later on by other units that do some pretty interesting things. His niche is early game. He does a great job, don't get me wrong, at all times. But his niche, in my opinion, is that early game start and making sure you have a great foundation and a great early start to your run. With that said, let's take a look at the next one. That next one being Miss Rewa, Renu Rewa. She is a Master Sergeant of the Skill Retention Unit, and she is a pilot, as you can imagine. She has some decent action economy at 108, 87, which this stuff's at mid-campaign. You can't go off that. But she's got some very decent stats. They're nothing to balk at. Her potential growth is at 5. Pretty decent stuff. Her promotion tax is 10. And her supply cost is, you know, she's a little chunky, but she's really, really good, especially when you take a look at her unique perk, which is Revel in Slaughter. Plus 6% accuracy and discipline for each enemy unit destroyed, and it stacks up to 5 times. So when she gets into the game, she starts rolling, she gets those pun. When she starts rolling, she gets those kills. It snowballs, and she just is devastating. This unit is absolutely unbelievable in my opinion, and you have multiple ways that you can play her. Doesn't really matter what chassis she's running, she's going to do a great job. And so right here you can see she's got the standard expert pilot, solid group, and new tricks, blah blah blah. She does get a hold of a tank buster. That's phenomenal, especially as you get later in the game. You're going to be looking for this. Absolutely phenomenal. Roadkill makes an early game. It really does. It doesn't do a lot for you past that, but in early game, it really, really makes for some really fun stuff and really helps out. She gets a hold of Zigzag. She gets Grind Down. Grind Down is a phenomenal perk. It really does some pretty decent stuff. And then she gets Unbreakable. That's okay. It, you know, messes with those defect thresholds and whatnot. I wouldn't necessarily go after that. To Shreds, plus light defect for each defect inflicted. So when you're punching through those heavy units, especially those, you know, those Max later, those Menace, you're going to really enjoy having that one. But even that is just, you know, it's whatever. But she comes down, she gets access to Vanguard. Vanguard's so good. I don't know that I want it on her, but it's such a good perk. Drive-by, I do love. I do want her. Absolutely phenomenal. Finisher, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely want that on her. Fury is plus 40% base damage, but loses accuracy. She's pulling up on people. It really doesn't matter. But otherwise, that can be a bit detrimental. You take it for what you want. It can be pretty good. It's up to you. You can supplement that accuracy loss in other ways. Just throwing that out there. Can be phenomenal. And then that coveted Berserk. Who doesn't love that? Absolutely Hoss. And then Commando. Commando's decent. That supplements that accuracy, as you can see right there. When she's isolated, she's alone. That plus 15%. Just throwing it out there. Pretty good stuff. She's got some unbelievable perks in her kit, which allows her to do some really devastating stuff. And for that reason, I would definitely say our girl comes in really, really strong. And in my opinion, it's hard not to put her as an S tier. I think that this unit is unbelievable. She can cover all kinds of bases and ground, do all kinds of jobs at all different points of the game. And yeah, having her out there feels good. Not having her, she's missed. She is S tier all day long in my book. Up next, let's take a look at our boy Tech. Mr. I don't even want to say his name. I'm going to butcher it. Gunnery Sergeant Techco Fosa. Mr. 54th Regiment there. He is a hoss. This guy, I did a guide on it. I was talking about how versatile he is and how he can do anything. That's before this update where they changed his unique perk, which let's talk about that. Get motherfucked. Hate to say it. It's on there. That's what it's called. Regardless, this allows you to deploy all special use all special weapons without deploying. Blah, almost said deploy. Allows you to use all special weapons without deploying. And now, after the update, it sincerely is all of them. It used to be the ones that would exhaust you, still had to be deployed, but they didn't, you know, they didn't encumber you. That's the word, not exhaust, encumber you. But now, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to deploy to use any of them, and that is broken. That is absolutely broken. He can fire all kinds of guns. As you can see, we took a look at the ASGM. I always want to call it the ATGM. I don't know why. ASGM, dude doesn't have to take a knee for it. Dude is just literally out there. Whether it's the POW, whether it's the MAO, whether it's the ASGM, whether it's any of these things now, he's able to utilize them. The Griffin minigun, and he does not need to take a knee. And it is absolutely phenomenal. On top of that, he gets access to buff in tier 1. You know, that's pretty unique in that I'm pretty sure he's the only one that gets that. I'm not 100%. We'll go over it here in a minute. But regardless, he gets that in tier 1. Not a huge deal, but it's something. It's interesting. And then he gets zigzag. He gets all these different things. It's really, really good. We love demolition expert. Mind breaker, not great. Not great. Quick hands, love it. That is pretty great. Of course, we got the bags and belts. Point fire, decent. Fragmentation, I do enjoy that. I do like that. I want to see that on more people. Determined, where he comes, you know, more so. I want to say more immune, but he's not immune to suppression. He's more hardy against suppression. That's what we're going to say. And then long bomb, I do love that. The +2 throw range on all grenades is absolutely phenomenal. Shout out, I was said in a comment that it also affects timed explosives. Really, really good stuff. He gets full send, which is very good. And then die hard. And Die Hard, I think, is a perk that people sleep on. This dude running in with just 2 squaddies alone, he can really tank some stuff. The squaddies die, this dude will literally stand there and eat damage to the point that it's almost like a meme. And so he's got a really interesting kit. He can do a lot of different things. He can be played in a lot of different ways. But the way he's handling those special weapons, whew, that is unbelievable. And so for that reason, in my opinion, I think Mr. Tech here is definitely going to be A rank. I think he would have been down lower if it wasn't for his recent change. I would say he probably was a B tier before that change, but now with that change, that dude is definitely A tier all day long. Just my opinion. Up next is Mr. Sachin Singh. And so that's Gunnery Sergeant 15th Vanguard Division, Mr. Sachin. He is pretty great in that he's got some pretty decent stats. He's got decent accuracy. His action economy, it grows. It's not the best. All these things kind of seem mid at best, in my opinion, but it's decent. His growth potential is pretty good. His tax for promotion is cheap, and his supply cost is cheap. He's a cheap squad leader. And, well, if you use him as such and let him kind of take the back line, which he calls all the time, bringing up the rear, it's good. It's really good, especially when you take a look at his unique perk right here, which you can see it is strength in numbers. And so he gains 4 accuracy and 4 discipline for each squaddy over 5. And so you give him a max of 8, so he's gonna have 15 on, I'm sorry, wow, math, 12 on discipline and accuracy past that, and then he loses accuracy and discipline for any squaddy under 5. And so that's a downside. It's a double-edged sword, but regardless, he's really, really good. You want him to have max squad members, and he's cheap, so it doesn't hurt you to run it. And then he's got in his tier 1 suppressive fire, plus 100% suppression inflicted by squad weapons. And let me tell you something, it's real. This dude, and I said it in his guide, he suppresses the snot out of everything. He makes you safe. He is amazing in that he's laying down cover fire left, right, and sideways. He can literally, once you build him right, he can get 3 shots off a turn easily without any support from anyone else. And he basically and effectively will take 3 other units out of play on the enemy side so that your units can flank and dismantle and kill. He is so good. I absolutely love it. Now, moving on down to tier 2, of course he gets buff and things like that. He gets standby. This is my rifle, reduces the cost of his weapon, which is pretty decent, especially if you want to keep him inexpensive and run him all the time, which you're probably going to want to do. He gets steady gun. I love this. I love having extra view range and extra accuracy. Really, really big for me. But for suppression, he doesn't need accuracy. The view range is nice, but accuracy is, it's meh. You know, you just need to be shooting in that way, and you're going to get the suppression. And then he has, of course, call out target. We do love that. Jump on grenade. I didn't find a lot of use in this, but I have seen where it could be useful. I need to test this and play with this more. I've had people mention that, you know, they've taken whole rocket launch, you know, launcher blasts where it saved them and only one squaddy takes the damage and this, that, and the third. Makes good sense. I haven't tested this to the nth degree, so I can see where this is decent, but for me, the way I like to play Sachin is he's not getting hit anyways. He's far away. He's got that ranged K-Pack or whatever it is you want to run on, but I want maximum range with him. And I want to be able to just lay all kinds of cover fire down from way far back in safety, basically bringing up the rear, as he says all the time. And then firing line. This is absolutely amazing, especially on him. But faster rate of fire when no special weapon is equipped, which basically means no minus 10 AP on consecutive shots with that weapon. Really, really good stuff. And then reinforcements, which is really good for him if he is taking damage and they are struggling with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Play the game your way. We all struggle in different ways. It could just be whatever. This is definitely a good little safety net. Allows you to get those squad members back up really quickly. It's very mindful. It works really well for his kit and what he's doing. And so overall, this dude honestly is pretty phenomenal in what he does, which is lay suppression fire. Now, when I'm thinking about him and how much I want him on the team, it's all the time. I feel so much better having him in the group and with me at all times. It's unbelievable. Now, is he killing everything and destroying it? No, he's filling a niche. He's a cog in the machine. He's not the whole machine itself. And so with that said, when you're analyzing him and you criticize that, yeah, it's a niche. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he can't just devastate and destroy everything himself. It's a tactics game. I don't think you should be able to do that. I don't think that's what makes you a good squad leader and should give you complete value. So Mr. Sachin, even though he's incapable of just absolutely waylaying everything on his own, in my opinion, he still does such a good job in what he does do and his necessity in the team that I feel like he is S tier. I feel like you will miss not having him on the team when you're running around without him. That's how good he is. The suppression is unbelievable. And if you can suppress and control your enemies, you kill them more effectively, and he allows you to do that. It's a core mechanic in the gameplay, and he is the exploit in taking advantage of that. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Up next, we're going to take a look at Carta. Carta is an unbelievably fun unit. Mrs. Marta Carta, the first sergeant of the Martian Expeditionary Force. She's a ton of fun. She's young, naive, the greenhorn. It's the job. And she comes in with a cheap promotion tax, just like Sachin, of 5, growth potential of 9. That's without new tricks. And then her supply cost is 4. So she's cheap, 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 cheap. Now, when you take a look at her unique perk here, that is out of craters, she starts the mission with a negative 15 accuracy and discipline, but gains stacking bonuses of 5% to both stats and to a maximum of 8 rounds. So yeah, really, really good stuff. It grows over time. She starts slow and then grows into the match, each match. But by the time you get into, which most of the time you don't really want too much craziness, but by the 8th round, she's not missing. The accuracy is phenomenal. She's going to grow in stats and use, especially the more you're deploying her and using her, and in a huge way. But like I said, by the 8th round, she hits everything, in my experience, and really, really well. Phenomenal stuff. Now, you take a look at her perks. She gets an early tier 1 call out target. Absolutely great. Absolutely great. I picked solid grouping with her on this run. No. Call out targets, what you want. Absolutely phenomenal. She gets access to something unique in first aid. This makes me sad. I really wanted this to be good, and I found that it really only has a tremendous utility with Tech being Mr. Diehard. Otherwise, I'm not impressed by this. I wouldn't pick it up. She's got some mobile infantry, so she's another option for that, and go in there rotation with Limb, and you probably will use her for that, and it definitely does a good thing. But huge shout out to her other unique perk, which is Share the Load. This thing is unbelievable. It increases your special weapon uses by 1 for each squaddy up to 100%. You put the SGM on her, and you've got tons of ammo to utilize. You name it, whatever special infantry you put on her, she gets bonus uses out of it. Really, really good stuff. Can't say enough good about it. Steady gun's great. Tank buster on her. ASGM, as I mentioned. Absolutely unbelievable. She has stubborn, hit the deck. These things are mid. Full send, we absolutely love. And then team spirit. This thing is pretty great right here. Allied units can now gain the high spirits morale status by killing enemies and pursuing objectives. And then that high spirits is plus 15 to accuracy and defense, plus 15 to suppression reduction. And in my opinion, I love this. I've enjoyed having it tremendously. It makes a big difference. And so Carta is super duper supportive. She's cheap, she's supportive, and then that absolute banger of a perk where it allows her to use extra special infantry is so powerful. It's unbelievable, to say the least. Where does that put her on the list? Well, Carta is another one of those that where if you don't have her in the team, you're kind of like, where is she? Kind of want her. Now, she does a lot. She's all over the place in some ways, and she covers a lot of bases. That's what I'm going to say. It's really, really nice. It's really, really good. I don't think that she has anything she necessarily excels at other than using those special infantry, and that can cover a lot of bases in itself. Regardless, I for me, would put Carta A tier. That's where I think she belongs in the end. Up next is our boy, Mr. Edwin Pike. And so this guy is a staff sergeant of the 1st Spaceborne Regiment. And yeah, this old head right here, he's got pretty good action economy. It's great. He has not great accuracy, good discipline, amazing discipline, in fact. And then his stats from there, you know, they are where they are. The promotion tax is 10. His growth potential is 2. It's pretty terrible. And his supply cost is 20. So he's fairly, you know, I don't know. He's right there in the middle as far as expense, in my opinion. Not overly expensive, kind of expensive. Growth is abysmal. He is what he is. He's an old head. He's stuck in his ways. Taking a look at his unique perk, we got Taking Command. This thing is amazing. You're going to spend 60 action points, but you're going to grant 40 action points to a friendly unit within 6 tiles. Can't get enough of that. Free action points to another ally who has a better position, better loadout, you name it. Really, really good stuff right there. And of course, he comes along at tier 1 with Standby. Fantastic perk. We love this thing all day long. Over here at tier 2, he gets Inspiring Presence, plus 15% accuracy and discipline conferred to adjacent allies. So he's just near them. Boom. As in next to them, they get bonus accuracy and bonus discipline. Can't beat that. Phenomenal stuff. He gets a call out at tier 2. We love call out. Really good stuff. And then moving on down here to tier 3, dude gets access to This Is My Rifle, reducing the cost of that rifle that he uses in his regular infantry weapon. Pretty good stuff right there. So if you do want to run with a lot of squaddies, understand you're going to get a discounted rate on that gun. That makes him a viable option for doing so. And then he gets Command Rally. Active, rally a friendly squad within 10 tiles and reduce suppression by 80 and reset their morale. Only costs 30 action points. Super duper great. This can really get some units out of jail. Some units are built to take hits, which we'll talk about one in particular later, Mr. Vamplew. Anyways, they sometimes need a little bit of help as far as morale being suppressed, and he comes in and really synergizes in that way. On down here, Stalwart is what he has at tier 4, and so Pike never flees, period, dot. This old head stays dug in and entrenched regardless. His squad is set to neutral morale instead of wavering, and wavering instead of fleeing. So dude just never runs. Pretty great. And then he gets the coveted firing line. We absolutely love it. So if you are running him with a squad of squaddies and you're hitting hard, you're going to get some benefit out of getting multiple shots off per round. His action economy is pretty good. So he's going to get easily 3 shots off a round. Or, 3 shots off a round. So pretty good stuff right there. Overall, his stats aren't too bad. For me, I like to run him with less squaddies and have him support and boost and buff his allies in and around him. And that's where I think he really shines. And so for that reason, I'm going to say Pike A tier all day long. You see what's going on here? All these guys, all my squad leaders so far are A and S tier. I'm sorry. I think everybody has value. I'm rating them all pretty highly. That's just my opinion. If you play them right and you play them the way that they are intended to be played or can be played, you determine that how you want. They're really, really good. So up next is our boy Bog, and that is Mr. Garry Boganwright, Gunnery Sergeant of the 9th Tank Formation. And this guy, he's hilarious. I love him. Yeah. Jerry-rigged is his starting perk. Remove the vehicle's most severe defect. If there are 2 or more equal level defects, it will randomly fix one of them. Pretty decent stuff. The problem I have with it is it requires you to take some damage. So in my mind, it's failure dependent. I don't care for things that are failure dependent. For me, I don't want to take damage. I don't know how else to say that. So I have a problem with that perk for that reason. I still understand its utility and its mechanic. It's pretty decent. As we can see right here, he's got some interesting stuff in his tier 1. Of course, Tank Buster's in there. Absolutely love that. Tank Buster's phenomenal. Recycled parts, minus 30% supply cost for vehicle chassis, but minus 30% hit points. This dude wants to run something busted. I don't know what else to say. Over here at tier 2, he does get fragmentation. We love that. And then, of course, he gets that coveted standby. Zigzag, all this stuff's great. Now, at tier 3, he gets critical hits. We love critical hits. Absolutely phenomenal there with that perk. Of course, we got minimized silhouettes, fortify, and an overload plus 50 AP on activation, but stun next turn. That's kind of Bog's deal. It's like you're going to do something, and you're going to hate yourself for it later, or you're going to hate yourself and then do something in retaliation of it. Regardless, moving down into tier 4, he's got steady gun. I like that, but as a tier 4 perk, that's tough. And then lucky shot. And so this is a plus 100% crit chance and a plus 50% damage / armor pin. This is pretty phenomenal. It costs 40 action points to utilize. It's once per turn, but it can create some pretty interesting situations, especially paired with Tank Buster, fragmentation. Really fun stuff right there. And then you couple that with critical hits on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun. More damage is what I'm saying. Not more crit. You can't get more crit. You get more damage. With that said, he's fun. He's great. But I don't miss him when I don't have him. He has a 10 on the supply cost, so it's kind of, you know, it's up there. It's like mid. And then promotion tax is cheap, but growth potential is bad. His accuracy is bad. And then his discipline is meh. And his action economy is bad. I don't know. He's got it tough. That's all I can say. He has got it tough. With that said, for me, that puts Mr. Boganwright, Bog, in C tier. He's a fun unit to use, but that's it. Honestly, I can put him in D tier, and I wouldn't feel bad. I think he does have a place there. He has some utility. I hate ranking somebody so low. I think everybody's got utility. I'm going to leave him C tier. That's just how I feel about Mr. Bog. I'm sorry if you disagree with me. It hurts my heart to do it to anyone. Past Mr. Bog, we're going to take a look at Mr. Fedor Yazov. And I'm sure I said that wrong, and I'm sorry. Master Sergeant of the Tramontane. Tramontane. I have no idea. And honestly, it's not a huge deal. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I like this guy. I love this guy. This guy makes the game a joy for me. He is phenomenal. Okay? And so we take a look at his stats. He's got some great, well, it's not great. I've used him a ton, but he has some good action economy. His accuracy is kind of suspect. His discipline's pretty good. His damage reduction, all that stuff, pretty decent stuff going on. His promotion tax is a 10, and so it's not terrible. His growth potential is a 6, also not terrible. His supply cost is kind of high. It's pretty high. He's up there at the 20, and so he's pretty tough for that reason. We get into his unique perk, plus 50% accuracy and plus 30% damage against wavering and fleeing enemies. There it is, the bread and butter of Mr. Yaz. And let me tell you, he's a blast for that reason. This dude is a killer. He's a finisher. When you're suppressing and holding them down, Sachin, this dude comes around and hurts them badly and makes them hate life. And so he is the Baba Yaga. He's the guy. He's amazing. With that said, of course, looking at his tier 1 perks, he gets Fearsome over here. And so Fearsome, attacks made by this unit have 100% more impact on morale. You want people to die. Not people. Whoa. You want enemies to die. You want your opponents to be wiped off the screen. So you don't really want them to survive. But the reality is you can't just one-shot everything. And he comes in and he makes them wish they did get one shot. And it's fantastic. And it gets better. Over here at tier 2, he gets If It's Bleeds. I personally have mixed feelings on this. I got it because I thought it'd be great. I tested it. I didn't care for it, but I do find that it still has some utility between here and there. It just depends. Against Menace is where I see it kind of do the most, but overall, I think it's passable. That's just my opinion. He gets mobile infantry, so he does the job that Carta and Lim do, and you could argue to an extent maybe even better. We'll just leave it at that. And then we got Gosta Provisto. Gosh, I butchered that. Babushki. Can I just say Babushki? Babushki. Someone translated in a comment some time ago. His grandmother's treats. Thank you so much for that, by the way. You rock. And then it refills your ammo, reduces suppression, and heals a squatty. And then that ammo refill is 25% with a minimum, of course, of 1. Which is pretty great. Reduces that suppression by 33%. And yeah, this is pretty phenomenal. He gets 2 charges of this, and it doesn't cost anything. It's phenomenal. I absolutely love this. Coming on down, he's got close and personal. So this one's a tough one. If you're pulling right up on people and you're killing them, this can be really, really good. And I do think this has some good utility. For me, it's unnecessary. That's just how I feel. Doesn't make it bad. It has great utility, great perk, and it's great to see on him. Tank Buster. I love it. I want this on him all day long. He hits and kills everything. Everything. With this on him. That's just my opinion. Counter-Strike. Pretty decent stuff, can be really useful. The way I play him, I don't want him getting hit, period, dot. And so I don't run it, but it can be pretty good. Finisher, this is it, right here. Plus 30% accuracy, plus 20% damage against enemies that are stunned, disabled, or disrupted. Overload is a disrupt. So good. So good. This really does a great job. The coveted Berserk is on our guy here, so he's getting extra action points for doing the job that he's already does well, which is kill. And then, of course, Commando, which I don't think that's a thing for him. That's just me personally. If you run him that way and you like it, that's all good. More power to you. But he has some pretty phenomenal perks. So all in all, this guy's got a phenomenal layout. He's got a phenomenal perk set. He's got some pretty decent stuff. His growth rate's pretty good for somebody who has pretty mid stats already. This dude's kind of bonkers in all reality. And that's why you guys are going to hate me. That's why I have to say, Yaz, man, this dude's S tier. When it comes to what he does and what he does well, he kills. He finishes. He's a flanker. He's a moral monster. I love it. And that's, yeah, he's amazing for it. So, yes, S tier all day long for me. Up next is our girl, Miss Jean Sai. Jean Z? Jean Sai. Gunnery Sergeant of Size Unseen. And so she has, in my opinion, just decent action points, not good accuracy, not good discipline, just not good stats in general. She's cheap with a promotions tax of 5, growth potential of only 4, and then she has the supply cost of 4. Cheap, poor stats, but not good growth potential. With that said, what is she good at? Well, she comes in with Economics 101, which is a minus 15% to supply cost for her squad and equipment. That's pretty nice. Very nice, in fact. Moving past that, her other Tier 1 unique perk is Trinketing. This is a plus 30% item drop chance when Jean Z, destroys an enemy unit. We love this. This is how you snowball your runs, and you get more and more so that you're able to buy more from the black market and be better prepared. She has great utility in that way. Albeit niche, fantastic utility in that way. What does that say about her late game? Moving on, Tier 2, Scavenger is coming in here on her again. This is always good. We love to see it. We want those, you know, those refills on our special weapons and accessories, especially with her. She's got a lot of utility focusing on accessories because she's got Resourceful. This as accessories get a +1 to their use, with the exception of Skybots, of course. And then, of course, she's got the bags and belts, hit the deck, and the buff. But that synergy alone is pretty good over there. At Tier 3, she's got Quick Hands. Fantastic. Once again, if you're focusing on those accessories, which I definitely recommend you do. It's obviously in her kit, it's what she's good at. So this is fantastic. She gets Steady Gun. We love this perk. Disruptive Fire. And then we get Fragmentation. Also another really good perk. In fact, a grenade launcher in her hand goes a long way. I love it. It's a good time. Tons of fun. Coming on down here, Tier 4, she gets Critical Hits. Also fantastic and great. Love it on her. Does a good job. And then we get Pirate's Luck. And this is her Tier 4 unique perk. and it has a plus 50% chance defense, against the first attack each round. This is planned failure, and it's not great planned failure in my opinion. So this isn't something that we necessarily, it's going to do a ton for her. It might get her out of trouble, but the goal is not to really let her get in trouble to begin with. For me, the best way I found the runner is to go without squaddies, and of course focusing on those accessories, and then trying to snipe and pick up last hits. What does that do for her in-game? Not a lot. So, in the end, she's not somebody I really want to bring along with me. It's not someone I think about. It's certainly not somebody I miss. But early game, I feel the opposite. I value her, I miss her, but here's the problem. Do you get her early game? If you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, that's tough. That's literally where she comes in and does the most for you, in my opinion. And so you're not guaranteed to have her. That hurts. That hurts her rating badly. With that said, and so this is sincerely for me, past making money, she doesn't have much utility. I could put her D tier, and I don't feel bad about it. And that's where I think she should be. D tier. I think her utility is great in that she makes you some money, but even then, it's plus 30%. I think it should be more. Like, I think your drop odds should drop more than 30%. That's just me personally. And her stats are abysmal. Everything. I don't want to re-talk it and say it again. It just isn't great. D tier for Gene Sai. Cruising on by, let's talk about the next fella, and that is Mr. Jacques Vamplew. The gunnery sergeant of the Ion Security Unit. Yeah, the Ion Security Unit. This guy's a character, guys. He has not great accuracy, decent action economy, good discipline here and there. Stats aren't bad. His promotion tax is 10. His growth potential is 3. And then his supply cost is 20. So he's a hefty guy. He's got some cost in all of that. With that said, taking a look at his unique perk, we get Partir de Rien. I have no idea what that means, but regardless, it's a diamond. I just say diamond. Can we just say diamond? I don't speak French. Gains a stack of pressure when attacked. Spend 4 stacks to instantly gain 60 AP. So, the way you're playing this guy is you want him to get hit. And you want him to get hit often. If he gets hit often, then he gets the benefit of his perk. Okay. I put that kind of in the planned failure bracket. It doesn't have to be, but it feels that way. He does have good utility, especially in those civilian rescue missions, but we'll get to that in a minute. He picks up at tier 1 the unique perk that shouldn't be unique for him in my opinion, Taunt, and so this has a 10 AP cost where it increases the threat for 1 turn. I don't understand how this works. I've used this Taunt, and I've had enemies still not target him. I just don't. I guess it's within proxy and range. Maybe the AI, I mean, it's early access. I'm not going to criticize. It's just, it's a hit or miss. It feels decent, but it doesn't feel good. And I use the word feel intentionally there because I understand the game's being worked on. Certain things are being changed. The AI has recently been changed. And so I'm not going to criticize. As it stands right now, this doesn't have the effectiveness that I want it to, or so I feel. That's how I want to put it. Moving on down to tier 2, he gets, of course, access to Disdain, and so this ignores suppression normally inflicted by losing squad mates. So once again, planned failure. If his people die, cool. He can keep on going, and they'll just keep on dying. Yeah, you tell me what you think about that. He does get access to Shooting Gallery. This is pretty phenomenal. When an enemy doesn't have cover, he gets plus 30% accuracy and damage. Now that is super duper legit. I love that, and it's great. It's powerful and strong. Coming on down to tier 3, Point Fire, Fortify, Stubborn, but Flamboyant. Flamboyant, y'all. Flamboyant. Minus 30% supply cost for armor. This is the one. I love this perk, and it being on him is phenomenal. So, really good stuff right here. This guy makes him your breacher. Put him in something nasty and heavy as far as armor, and just let him march at the enemy and be rewarded as he takes shots and people die around him. Moving on down to tier 4, he gets critical hits, love it, and then full send, love it. Really good perks right down here to round it out, but nothing unique. Flamboyance where it ends for his unique perks, which is still really good. With that said, he's got a decent perk set. It's not terrible, and he can be pretty good in some ways, and he can be pretty fun in some ways. That's what I'm going to say. The way I just stated it, that he can be pretty good, making Mr. Vamplew a mid character in my mind, which puts him right in that B tier mid-level. Can be good, not saying he's bad, can be bad. For me, that's where he fits, right in the middle there, right in the middle. Moving right along, let's take a look at our boy, Mr. Kody Greyfinger. Did I say that right? It's been explained to me, but I can't, like, I'm a goldfish. 5 minutes pass, I'm a totally new person. I sleep, I forget. Anyways, Mr. Kody Greyfinger, Master Sergeant, leader of the Forgiven unit, and this guy is a hoss. Anyways, fantastic action economy, good accuracy, great discipline. Dude's got a lot going on in his stats. He has a promotion tax of 15, so he's a little pricey as far as promotions. His growth potential's 4, so he's not growing a ton, but he's already got good stats. And his supply cost is 40, which is steep. He is expensive, but he's worth it. And so, coming right into his perks, he's got Gorilla. Gorilla is a plus 20% accuracy, plus 30% damage when attacking healthy targets, as in their HP is over 80%. And yeah, dude hits like a truck, and he hits hard just for you being there and in good shape. You look good. Bam! It's satisfying. Now, coming on down to tier 1, his unique perk he's got going on here is Recover, minus 20% suppression for each enemy element killed. Enemy element being the key there. So when he drops those enemies, he's relieving himself of that pressure. It's actually pretty strong. Really good stuff right there. So if you put him in the front line where he takes some damage and he takes some heat, he'll find himself right out of it. Pretty interesting. Pretty good right there. Coming down tier 2, he gets access to Demolitions Expert. He gets access to Zigzag, but he gets access to Sharpshooter. This dude doesn't care if you're in cover. He's going to shoot you, and he's going to make you hate life. That's insane. Tier 2 Sharpshooter, fantastic stuff right there. Coming down further under tier 3, he gets the Grenadier, so he gets the nice big throws. That's pretty decent. He gets the coveted Vanguard. Whew, what an ability. And then he gets his own unique trait, or perk, sorry. Deploy Decoy. And so that's where he sets a decoy, and enemies attack it, and this thing does everything that you want Taunt to do. I talked about Mr. Vamplew and how his taunt didn't quite get it. Well, Decoy does it. Decoy, I mean, enemies, dude, they come out of nowhere to hit those things. I love it. A good decoy placement and good cover is so good. So good. This thing is amazing. You only get 2 charges, but man, it is so good. Coming on down, he gets access to the coveted Tank Buster and then Assassin, where he does plus 30% damage, plus 20% accuracy against isolated targets. Kody Greyfinger is insane. He is insane. This dude destroys your opposition and makes you feel like he is, I mean, he's the Chad of Menace. Let's just be honest. Him and Darby, those two together, you can't hardly run them because they're just so expensive, and there's a reason. And those two together could pretty much duo missions. I mean, it's insane. With that said, that's why I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, Kody Greyfinger, grow a finger, bro. Greyfinger is S tier all day long. I'd put this dude S plus along with Darby, but honestly, he's S tier. Absolutely bonkers. Really good stuff. He is a unit that when I don't have him on the field, I wish he was there. I think about him. I dream about him. I miss him. He's just so good. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's really good. Up next, we're going to talk about our girl, Ivy, or Ivory Isom. Ivory Isom. And so she's a gunnery sergeant of the planetary Jingwei, and she is a pilot. She's got not great action economy, not good accuracy, not great discipline, and just has kind of abysmal stats. Her promotion tax is dirty cheap at 5, with a 9 in potential growth. Well, it's actually a 6 in potential growth, forgive me. And then a 10 in supply cost. She's actually really cheap to run, and that's where her strength comes in. On top of her perks. Let's talk about the perks. 0 in. Ivy's chance to hit cannot fall below 30% for any reason. Period. Dot. That's pretty phenomenal. She has very poor accuracy, so that's really nice. No matter what, you're going to have a bottom line of 30. Is that great? It's okay. Moving right along, she gets access to shoot and scoot, and so this is minus 4 AP cost after shooting a weapon, and it lasts until the end of the turn. It's okay. I'm not overly impressed with this. It's all right. She does get a tier 1 tank buster. That's pretty great. I do love that, absolutely. I did enjoy new tricks on her, but moving right along. She gets access at tier 2 to fragmentation. Fantastic stuff. We love standby. Really good stuff. She gets demo expert, zigzag, and belts and all that. These things are all good. And then down here at tier 3, she gets call out target. Now, we've seen that earlier on other people. There's nothing wrong with that. To shreds, we've seen on Rewa. Nothing wrong with that. Steady gun. But then we get direct fire. And so this attacks against marked targets have a plus 20% accuracy and plus 20% damage. Here it is. So when you mark a target, you're getting a bonus of 20% accuracy. That offsets her poor accuracy. Okay. And it lasts for 2 turns. Has a 10 tile range. Then you put direct fire on her, and suddenly now she's got a bonus of 40% accuracy, completely offsetting her poor accuracy. Okay. I'm digging it. And then bonus damage on top of that. Okay. So give her something that's heavy, hard hitting, and let her smoke them. Couple that with somebody who's able to call out targets for her, and you're going to be really happy, because down here at tier 4, she gets barrage. AP cost reduced by 10 for heavy vehicle weapons. That's fantastic. So instead of firing at 60 AP like most of them, you're going to be now firing at 50. Put on that full send. Minus 10 AP for consecutive use of hardware and special weapon use. Goodbye. Ivy's able to start hammering, and hammering hard against your opponents, but she requires investment. And so you got to be able to promote her and get her going before you're really able to take full advantage of her and feel good about her. And at that point, you're probably going to miss her. Before that, not so much. So Ivy is a fantastic squad leader that you will love and enjoy using at higher ranks. At low ranks, not so much. And so she's not great until that point. For me, that puts her right there mid at B tier. That means that she's not great early game. Late game, she feels great. You'll miss her then. Before that, you won't miss her. This is the soul metric. Up next is everybody's favorite villain, J.G. Wentworth. Oh, Weatheroth, and he is the staff sergeant of the Weatheroth's lodge. Okay, and this guy has terrible action economy, decent at best accuracy, not good discipline. It's just okay, and then just stats aren't great. His promotion tax is 5, his growth potential is 3, and his supply cost is 4. So dude's dirty cheap. He's dirty cheap to use, he's dirty cheap to promote, and his growth potential is not great. But let's get into these perks. His innate perk, unique of course, is against large organic targets. He has a plus 20% accuracy and plus 15 armor penetration. It does not apply to vehicles or structures because they're not organic. Well, I mean, are they? Is that organic? Regardless, it doesn't apply to those, and so he's not going to do a whole lot for you outside of, bugs. That, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's his specialty. We get it. Okay, he's a hunter. All right, we get it. Okay. And then coming over here at tier 1, he gets This Is a Knife. Now this is a knife, and it's a melee attack that cannot miss. Now it's my understanding this absolutely kills one enemy element regardless, so it seems pretty nice for that. Throw some smokes at it and let him have some fun. Cool. But you don't want this dude up close. You don't want him taking damage. You don't want him to be in the fray. It seems kind of tough to use. Moving right along, tier 2, he gets access to If It Bleeds. I've told you how I felt about that when we talked about Yaz. And then he gets Call Out Target. We absolutely love this. This gives him some great utility and support. Then he has deploy wire slings. And so this deploys a decoy to distract enemies, deploys a trap to divert enemy attacks. This thing is worse than taunt. It's not the decoy that Greyfinger has. This thing is, honestly, it's not great. I've used it, I've tested it, I've used it again. No, don't get it. I don't understand. I think they need to work on it. That's just me. I don't know what it's doing. Regardless, moving right along. At tier 3, he gets Finisher. That's pretty good. Vanguard. That's fantastic. And then he, of course, gets Take Aim, which is a toggled thing. Plus 50 accuracy, but subsequent attacks cost bonus AP. You tell me what you think about that. For me, that makes him like a one-time deal type shooter each round. Maybe you like that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I personally don't think that this is worth it. And then coming on down, he gets Finishing Shot, which is plus up to 50% damage against wounded enemies. Scales with missing enemy health. I do like that. That's pretty great. He will definitely finish some enemies. And he gets critical hits, which is pretty great too. So he gets some pretty decent perks. The problem is his stats are trash. Like legit hot trash. And the action economy is what kills it more than anything. I can deal with the rest. I'll run somebody until their legs fall off and build them up and try to grow them. But his growth potential is also terrible. So Mr. J.G. Wentworth, he doesn't really ever feel good. He doesn't ever really kill it. I gave him only 2 squaddies and ran him cheap and try to give him some use. And even then, I feel like it's a chore. It doesn't feel good. So that's kind of tough to deal with. For that reason, I understand why a lot of people give a lot of flack to Mr. J.G. Weatheroth. They claim that he's the worst character in the game, and I kind of agree with them. Unfortunately, he needs some love. He is D tier all day long. My opinion. Up next is our guy right here, Mr. Exconde, Gabriel Exconde, Gunnery Sergeant of the Baseline Moonworks Squad Unit. And so this guy right here has pretty decent action economy, not the best accuracy, decent or good, honestly, discipline, and then decent stats past that. His promotion tax is 10, growth potential is only a 4, and his supply cost is 40. Is that the worst? Is it the best? You tell me. It's right there. It can be a little tough. He can be a little pricey. You know, you jump over here to like Ruiz 40, it's not bad. You jump over here to Ivy, her supply cost is 10. Dirty cheap. Bog 10. Dirty cheap. And so then you jump over here to, which we'll get to, Mr. Achilles. That's crazy. Regardless, Mr. Exconde at 40, he's pretty, you know, he's pricey. And so let's go to look at his perk. He's got Sentry. Sentry is a +1 cover level provided by this vehicle. So the vehicle he's piloting, that's fantastic. This is phenomenal. He creates security for your units, allowing you to push forward and do more. I love that all day long. At tier 1, he gets access to the coveted Tank Buster, pretty decent stuff. And then he has Shepherd, which is gain +10 accuracy for each adjacent allied infantry squad up to a maximum of 40. This is fantastic in my opinion, but it's only fantastic if you're running that heavy machine gun or other kind of gun with them. If you're running something or no weapon, which we'll get to in a minute, this isn't going to do a lot for you. If you are running something along those lines, then this is going to do something for you. So it's 50-50 on whether or not you're going to get good use out of this perk. Coming on down here to tier 2, he gets Fervor. And this is what I was talking about right here. -4 AP movement cost when no medium or heavy weapon is equipped. So you're limited to a machine gun and a grenade launcher, basically. Are you happy with that? Are you going to need the bonus accuracy for a grenade launcher? Not really. You know what I'm saying? It's a suppression mechanic. He doesn't have fragmentation in his kit, so machine gun's the way to go. Unless you're running a heavy weapon, then you're not going to get Fervor, and it doesn't have any utility for you. So this is basically it's an ultimatum. You're either going to play in one way or the other. I pick it up because there are certain missions where I do want somebody to get somewhere far and fast, and he's my guy. I use this for that. He's going to haul my units in quick to save civilians and get them out. But then that hard locks them in some ways from ever being optimal as a damage dealer. So you decide what you want to do with him. Just understand that's how that works. And then coming on down, you get Steady Gun. I'm a fan of that. Get Call Out Target. Good support unit. He gets a late scout. I do utilize it with the build, especially when he's a carrier. Nothing wrong with that. Minimize silhouette, blah, blah, blah. He gets access to Sharpshooter in his tier 4. Sharpshooter, once again, fantastic perk. I mean, even on the worst of units, I want this because it's just so good. It's so good. But if you run a grenade launcher, you don't really care. So, I don't know. There's a lot of tough decisions. Some of his perks kind of contradict each other. That's my point. There's some contradictions. However, Divine Intervention, his unique perk that he gets at tier 4, prevents all HP damage from the first attack each round. Armor can still be damaged. This thing's phenomenal. It's a planned failure. That's something I'm critical of, so it automatically isn't something that I'm going to rate like through the roof, but it's still really good. There's been plenty of times that this has saved me and helped me from taking some big damage and so on and so forth from those sneaky snipers or, you know, anti-vehicle units, you name it. And so this is fantastic in my opinion. Planned failure, I get it, but this is the top of planned failure perks in my opinion. And so he has a pretty great thing in Divine Intervention. Coming back, talking about him as a whole and how much I like him, how much I want to use him, how much I miss him. I don't miss him when I don't have him. He is, for me, the perfect driver for my my vehicle deployed units. The ones that are going to be hopping in and out of the trucks and the APCs and so on and so forth. He's the guy I want them carrying. He's the guy I think that gives the most synergy. That's just my opinion. And so I want him to fulfill that role. And if he fills that role, I think he's phenomenal. Outside of that, and as a damage dealer or anything else like that, it's mid. It's mid at best. That's how I feel. With that said, that's going to put Mr. Exconde right over here at the B tier. That's just how I feel about it. I know some people probably disagree. You probably disagree with a lot of this list, so I'm sorry. But yeah, Mr. Exconde, B tier. That brings us right on to the last guy on the list, the one that I just kind of freaked out about when I was talking about his supply costs, and that's Mr. Achilles Kynu. And so, Mr. Gunnery Sergeant of the 5th Tank Formation, Achilles Kynu. Let's talk about it, because this is a divisive one. I think the community is legitimately split here. I think some people love this guy. Some people hate this guy. So we're legit split on this one. His action economy is phenomenal. Accuracy could be better. It's not good. Discipline, good. His promotion tax is 15, so it's kind of expensive. It is fairly expensive. Growth potential is 3. It's not great at all. Supply cost 80. And that's it right there. Supply cost 80 kills it for most people. A lot of people I'm seeing, they like Kynu, or Achilles, sorry, up to that point, and then they're like, we're done. 80 supply cost out the door. What are you even talking about? Let's take a look at his unique perk. Spartan Duty. Increase AP for lost health. Plus 15 AP for 20% HP lost. 30 AP for 40% HP loss, and 50 AP for 60% HP loss. Whew. This is the height of planned failure. You are literally taking advantage of being hurt and beat up. Now, we can have some discussions on the HP loss. What does that mean? What happens? He is a pilot, so you do have to worry about defects. So when he loses HP, he loses his weapon system. What are we doing with all that AP? You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is a concern. This is a problem when it comes to Mr. Achilles. But if you can correctly utilize and take advantage of that mechanic, it gets nutty. He can break the game. And this is why it's divisive. Because when he gets up there, and especially with like a Pike behind him giving him a bonus 40 AP, this dude comes out swinging with nearly 200 AP. It's crazy. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to break 200 AP pretty easily. Regardless, coming along at tier 1, he has Tank Buster. Love it. We've talked about it. It's great. Lancer. Here it is, Mr. Reckless, Berserker, Kamikaze, Kynu. Plus 50% armor penetration when within 4 tiles of the target. Walk up to their face and shoot them, because you will love yourself for it. That's basically the understanding here with this perk of Lancer. Get in front of them, hurt them badly, and yeah, be effective. Lancer. Yeah, lose HP while you do it if you can. Okay, understood. Understood, Mr. Achilles. Over here at tier 2, we got Bags and Belts, Zigzag, and then we get Dash. Minus 4 AP right here per movement tile, and it's for walkers only. Walkers gain off balance, minus 10% accuracy, and plus 2 AP movement per cost tile until the end of the following turn. Dash cannot be used while off balance. And so this is a gap closer. Expert Pilot does the same thing for free and is really, really good. If you want that and then some, you're going to pick up that dash and just close gaps and get in their face, like I said, and just wallop, waylay, and destroy. Taking advantage of that Lancer. Good synergy there between those perks. Speculation on whether or not it's really something you want, I don't know. That's on you. Like I said, divided community. Getting on down here at tier 3, we get Drive-By, which is fantastic. Minus 10 AP for the next standard attack. Can trigger multiple times, and of course that's after movement. He gets Shield Wall, which gives him some security. Here it is. He gets some security finally. This Shield Wall, very Spartan, cannot lose more than 33% HP from a single attack. Hey, he's guaranteed to live 3 hits, you know? Okay, fantastic. And then he has access to the coveted Vanguard. Absolutely love this. Down here at tier 4, he gets critical hits and in full sin. So he is hyper aggressive. That is the story of Mr. Achilles. Go in, hit hard, and wish that you hit harder and do your best to do it next time. Just keep hitting and you'll love yourself. If you're a hyper aggressive person, you probably love Achilles. If you're a very defensive person who likes to kind of take your time and not rush in, you probably don't like Achilles. And so this is where the divide hits. That's just the way I see it. Now for me, do I love Achilles? Or do I miss Achilles when I don't have him? Do I wish he was there? I appreciate diversity in squad leaders. I get bored if I play the same style over and over again, and so I like to mix it up. For me, I don't care to be hyper aggressive all the time. In fact, I'd actually even say I struggle to be very aggressive at times. But because I tend to be more defensive, I do enjoy mixing it up and pushing myself to be more aggressive in certain scenarios and so on and so forth. So I have a fondness for Achilles. Do I miss him when he's gone? No. Do I enjoy him when I play him? Yeah. So does that put him mid? It does. But Mr. Achilles, when he does go hard and you cater to his playstyle and hit hard, it's insane. And so out of respect for that, Mr. Achilles is A tier for me. This guy can do some insane things, but at a very high cost of his own regard. Do we love it? No. Well, some people probably do. Do I love it? No. But I enjoy it when it gets nutty and you get to have all that AP. It feels good when he's just slaughtering the map. You take it for what it is. You tell me what you think. Drop down in the comments. And I'm eager to hear it. What do you think? This is the tier list. Up here we've got Darby S tier, Rewa S tier, Sachin S tier, Yaz S tier, and Greyfinger S tier. Coming in with Lim A tier, Tech A tier, Carta A tier, Pike A tier, and Achilles A tier. And that's the divisive one, I'm sure. Vamplew, good old B tier for Vamplew. Ivy at B tier and Exconde B tier. We got Bog at C tier. There's nothing wrong with being average. He's very good at it. We like it. And then D tier, I've got Jean Sai. Gets rich quick schemes. Ex-pirate. I get it. She, like, to me, even like her rhetoric and story and character, she's harsh. Regardless. And then JG Wentworth. The guy I really wished could be better. I tried. I worked with him so hard to try to make him good, give him some good utility, and honestly, it never felt good. It never felt good to play him, and so he is strong D tier in my mind. Strong as in, like, he's the most deserving of the D tier. Tell me what you think, guys. Get down in the comments. Compare your tier list to mine. Tell me what I should change, what you would change. or give me your examples and reasons why. Please be respectful. Remember, this is just my opinion. This is not fact at all. This is just fun, speculative conjecture. That's it. That is it. Huge shout out and thank you to my Patreon members, my soldiers. You guys and gals are the ones that make the content roll, me go, and everything keeps flowing. So thanks to you and those support, I'm able to do that. Thank you for that. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Bye.